Welcome to the order of Monday morning. The Royal Order of Oom. Oom. I'm going to start off by sharing this. Now, yesterday and the day before, someone was responding to your messages on my Facebook page, saying Lon Milo DuQuette never answers his Facebook things. He's on Telegram at the real Lon Milo DuQuette and has a link to a Telegram page saying, and it's kind of funny because there's a stack of about 40 people who I'm answering. And they said, Lon never answers on Facebook. He's on, that's a lie. Okay, that's a hoax. I'm not on Telegram. And this is the person, or this is the name of the person that has put that hoax message on my site. And I have no idea if this is a real person or not. Linda Berkey. Okay. And it's a Telegram hoax. I'm not on Telegram. No, I wouldn't even go on it. But it's the real Lon Milo DuQuette on Telegram. It's a hoax. Please, if you see this in response of anything you leave on my page, report it, then block it. And if you are on Telegram, I doubt whether you are, but if you are, go to the page, the phony page that says Real Lon Milo DuQuette, and announce that it's a hoax, and to report it and tell others to report it too. So there. So today I'm going to do part 2. This is just too bright here. I'm going to do part 2 of Crowley's commentary on Liber 65, chapter 1. And it's from a book that's long out of print, and it's, as far as I know, there's no immediate plan for it to come back into print, and it's a classic. And I wish I could just read the whole thing to you, but I'm not going to do that. But I am going to finish up Crowley's commentary on chapter 1. Now, Liber 65, just to remind us, is an account. It's a Class A document, so Crowley received it. It's like kind of like a channeled book, okay? And it's The Heart Girt with Serpent is its name, and it's an account of the relations of the aspirant with his holy guardian angel. This book is given to probationers as the attainment of the knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel is the crown of the outer college. So it's all about the holy guardian angel and the first plateau, I guess, of initiation. The first is the knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel. The second is the crossing of the abyss. So we left off yesterday at verse 31, where it says, everything I read yesterday, you might want to, if you didn't see yesterday's, it's down on my Facebook page, and it's also on YouTube. So the 31 said, the scribe look upwards and crieth, Amen. Thou hast spoken it, Lord God. So I thought that'd be a good place. His comment was, the adept accepts this as a promise. So here's how the book continues for verse 32 and for 33. Further, Adonai spake unto VVVVV and said, Let us take our delight in the multitude of men. Let us shape unto ourselves a boat of mother of pearl from them, that we may ride upon the river of Amrit. Now his comment is, proposal to view phenomena from a new standpoint. The book continues. Thou seest yon petal of amaranth blown by the wind from the low, sweet brows of Hathor. The Magister saw it and rejoiced in the beauty of it. Listen. From a certain world there came an infinite wail. That falling petal seemed to the little ones a wave to engulf their continent. And his comment on that is, 2 points of view. As a girl's smile involves the death of many cells in her body. The book continues. So they will reproach thy servant, saying, Who hath sent thee to save us? And if you know much of Crowley's life, that's quite a profound thing for him to hear in about 1907. He comments on that. The above explains why men should resent their Savior. They misinterpret his acts as destructive. The book continues. He will be sore distressed. He comments, he in his human mind is distressed at this. You would think. The book continues. All they understand not that thou and I are fashioning a boat of mother of pearl. We will sail down the river of Amrit, even to the yew groves of Yama, where we may rejoice exceedingly. The joy of men shall be our silver gleam, their woe our blue gleam, all in the mother of pearl. His comment, but the whole relation is illusion. In reality, the angel and the adept are simply arranging to sail through eternity together. The work of the adept in redeeming mankind is only an image seen as he fashions his mother of pearl. The book continues. The scribe was wrought thereat. He spake, O Adonai, my master, I have borne the inkhorn and the pen without pay, in order that I may search this river of Amrit, and sail thereon as one of ye. This I demand for my fee, that I partake of the echo of your kisses. And immediately it was granted unto him. His comment on that. The human mind demands to be relieved of its sorrow. By seeing nature in this light, on the ground that it has served the masters with unselfish devotion. The book continues. Nay, but not therewith was he content. By an infinite abasement unto shame did he strive. Then a voice. He comments, the mind demanded complete relief. But the book goes on. thou strivest ever. Even in thou yielding thou strivest to yield, and lo, thou yieldest not. Go thou unto the outermost places and subdue all things. Subdue thy fear and thy disgust. Then yield. His comment, the method. Know everything possible. Become indifferent to all. This attained, become thou perfectly passive. The book continues. There was a maiden that strayed among the corn and sighed. Then grew a new birth, a narcissus, and therein she forgot her sighing in her loneliness. Even instantly rode Hades heavily upon her and ravished her away. The comment. Persephone, the earth-bound soul. Corn equals material nourishment. Its result is sorrow. Narcissus equals the sexual instinct flowering as beauty. Instantly the soul forgets the corn and desires the flower. Hades comes and carries her off. Hades is the lord of hell, the dark and secret but divine soul in every man and woman. The rape thus means that the desire for beauty awakes the unconscious self, who then takes possession of the soul and enthrones her, only allowing her to return to earth or the knowledge of the material world at certain seasons in order to attend to the welfare of mankind. The book continues. Then the scribe knew the Narcissus in his heart, but because it came not to his lips, therefore was he shamed and spake no more. Crowley explains that line. I was seized by the impulse to adore beauty, and felt ashamed at my inability to write a poem on the spot which should be worthy of the theme. Okay, and the following verses is an elaborate parable in this dialogue. Adonai spake yet again with VVVVV and said, the earth is ripe for our vintage. Let us eat of her grapes and be drunken thereon. He comments, the angel bids the adept rejoice in certain events which are about to occur on earth. The book continues. And VVVVV answered and said, O my Lord, my dove, my excellent one, how shall this word seem unto the children of men? The comment is, the adept doubts whether his doctrine will be understood rightly by mankind. The book continues, and he answered him not. Oh, excuse me. And he answered him, not as thou canst see. It is certain that every letter of this cipher has some value, but who shall determine the value? For it varieth ever according to the subtlety of him that made it. The comment is, the angel agrees, but is more skeptical still, suggesting that any event may be taken as meaning anything one chooses. The book continues, and he answered him, "Have I not the key thereof? I'm clothed with the body of flesh. I am one with the eternal and omnipotent God." He comments on that confident line. The adept claims to be able to interpret phenomena rightly, that there is one special relation which is true and all others false. He reminds the angel that he realizes himself as a unique being, always identical with itself, alike in the lowest matter and the highest spirit. The book continues. Then said Adonai, "Thou hast the head of the hawk, and thy phallus is the phallus of a sar. Thou knowest the white, and thou knowest the black, and thou knowest that these are one. But why seekest thou the knowledge of their equivalents?" In other words, the angel is, this is Lon's commentary, the angel is saying, are you going to bore me with Kabbalah? Are you going to bore me with gematria or something? But I digress. Crowley's commentary is, the angel asks why one who possesses absolute sight and lordship and power to soar, that's what the head of the hawk's about, who has creative energy able to fertilize nature, his mother, his sister, his wife, that's the phallus of Asar, one who knows the pairs of opposites, and the fact of their identity should trouble to calculate the equations which express the relations between the illusory and the symbols of diversity. The book continues, he answers when the book continues, and he said, that my work may be right. He comments on that response. The adept replies that he must understand the laws of illusion in order to work in the world of illusion. But the book continues. And Adonai said, the strong brown reaper swept his swath and rejoiced. The wise man counted his muscles and pondered and understood not and was sad. Reap thou and rejoice. The commentary is, the angel replies that such calculations lead one to believe in the reality of the illusions, to become confused by their complex falsities, and ultimately mistrusting one's own powers to fail to act for fear of making mistakes. Whereas it does not really matter what one does, since one set of illusions is just as good as another. The business of the adept is to do his work manfully and joyously, without lust of result or fear of accident. He should exercise his faculties to the full. The free fulfillment of their functions is sufficient justification. To become conscious of any organ is evidence that it's out of order. The book continues. Then was the adept glad, and lifted his arm. Lo, an earthquake and a plague and a terror on the earth, casting down of them that sate in high places, a famine upon the multitude. The comment on that disturbing verse was, the adept takes this advice and puts forth his energy. The apparent result of his work is disaster. The book continues, and the grape fell ripe and rich into his mouth. Comment on that. But the whole idea of his relations with mankind as Redeemer proves phantasmagoric. The truth of the matter is that he has, quote, eaten the grape, unquote. In other words, begun to enjoy the banquet with his angel, as prophesied in verse 50. Let's see, verse 50, if I can. That's the one that started, Adonai spake again unto VVV and said, the earth is ripe for vintage, let us eat of her grapes and be drunken thereon. Okay. The book continues. Stained is the purple of thy mouth, O brilliant one, with the white glory of the lips of Adonai. His comment, every act of the adept is really the kiss of his angel. Allow me to say that again. Every act of the adept is really the kiss of his angel. The book continues. The foam of the grape is like the storm upon the sea. The ships tremble and shudder. The shipmaster is afraid. Now he comments on that verse. The ecstasy of the relation between the adept and his angel disperses normal thoughts. The ego fears to lose control of the course of the mind. This, of course, occurs in a less real sphere, that of normal consciousness. The ego is justly apprehensive, for this ecstasy will lead to a situation when its annihilation will be decreed, so that the adept may cross the abyss and become the master of the temple. Remember that the ego is not really the center and the crown of the individual. Indeed, the whole trouble arises from its false claim to be so. This is really good shit. Okay, the book continues. That is thy drunkenness, O Holy One, and the winds whirl away the soul of the scribe unto the happy haven. The comment. The ecstasy of the knowledge and conversation of the holy guardian angel brings peace to the soul of the scribe, his conscious mind, by impressing such energy on his thoughts that their normal conflict, which causes sorrow, becomes negligible. Just as the personal antagonisms in a cavalry regiment are forgotten in the excitement of a charge. The book continues. O Lord God, let the haven be cast down by the fury of the storm. Let the foam of the grape tincture my soul with thy light. His comment. But the mind, knowing that the old quarrels will revive when ecstasy has passed, asks that this anesthesia may be removed. It aspires to enter into the rapture with every element of its being, no matter for the pain. It knows that it can never be truly content until each separate fiber thrill harmoniously to that supreme attainment. The book continues with two forms of Dionysus. Bacchus grew old and was Silenus. That's the old drunk. Okay. Pan was ever Pan, forever and evermore throughout the aeons. His comment: it knows that the lower types of intoxication were excitements and end in stupor and senility. It demands the madness of Pan, the building up of every particle of its being into a single symbol to include all. Pan means all. This symbol is to combine the intelligence, or the omniscience, of man with the omnipotence typified by the horns, and the creative rapture of the leaping goat. This Pan is not intoxicated, but is wholly insane, being beyond distinction or knowledge, as including all in itself. He is also immune to time, since that whatever happens can only be within himself. That is, all events are equally the exercise of his functions, and therefore accompanied by rapture, since he has included all possibilities in his unity, that any change is part of his life, an act of love under will. The book continues, intoxicate the inmost, O my lover, not the outermost. His comment, this is presumably once more the voice of the angel. He bids the adept pay less attention in the future to the transmutation of gross impressions into the raptures of union. The greater work is to cause the unconscious to interpenetrate with the angel, for such is the ultimate sacrament. The adept is only too liable to be content with the conscious joy of causing just those thoughts which have always been the source of error to glow with purity and splendor at the touch of the angel. But it is far more important to renounce those rewards, ineffably holy and delightful though they be, in order to perfect the inmost self, to purge it of personality, and to unite it with the universe, though such attainment lie too deep for direct conscious apprehension. And the final verse of chapter 1 of Liber 65. And remember, this chapter was representative of the element earth. So it was, ever the same. I have aimed the peeled wand of my God, and I have hit. Yea, I have hit. And his comment on this, and the conclusion of this chapter, is, in a secret code, the adept affirms that he is of the same sex, so to speak, as his angel. It is not a union of opposites to produce a third thing. He calls it tertium quid. But a realization of identity, like the return to consciousness from delirium, whose ecstasy bears no fruit involving new responsibilities, new possibilities of sorrow, but is all sufficient to itself, with neither past nor future. The peeled wand is the creative energy of the angel, stripped of all veils, pointing to the zenith, ready and eager to act. The adept exclaims with joy that he has aspired to unite himself with this idea and has attained. Okay, he mentions in the commentary, thus concludes the description of the relations of the adept and his angel so far as the element earth, the concrete and manifest aspect of nature, is concerned. The whole illusion has been destroyed. The bread has become the body of God. Yet this is but the lowest form of existence. In the next chapter, we shall understand how the mind, as distinct from the matter of thought, is concentrated and sanctified by the magic of the adept. And one typescript of that comment read, instead of the magic of the adept, it read the magic of the angel. So I just thought I'd throw that in. So that's it. I truly do wish I could read you the whole book, and perhaps someday when I'm old and gray, that might be a project for me. But I hope you've enjoyed this peek on the commentaries of the Holy Books of Thelema. If you don't just have a regular copy of the Holy Books of Thelema without the commentary, all of the Holy Books, all 13 and a few more, are in this book, the Holy Books of Thelema, which is more readily available, more reasonably available. Well, that's it. Constance and I have to get ready for Monday night class tonight. We're still on the Thoth Tarot. I've got slides to prepare and things like that. Once again, please ignore or report anybody presuming to leave you the message that I'm no longer answering any questions on Facebook. Of course I am. Yesterday we had over 3,000 views. Okay. Please report that if you get it. I don't know if it'll do any good, but this person is leaving messages that are totally bogus. And if you're on Telegram, see if they've taken down the page that says the real Lon Milo DuQuette, because that is not I. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.